Lil Tunechi, Lil Wayne has hit the radar again. We talked about him last month because he came out saying he really didn't understand. He didn't believe racism still existed. Talk in the context of Colin Kaepernick, and the reason he didn't believe racism existed was because, you know, when he comes up from his booth underneath the ground at a big concert, underneath the stage at a concert, and he looks at the audience and he sees nothing but white people, and he said, that's how I know racism doesn't exist. All right, so he's back in the news. He had a clip on an interview with Nightline, and then this is what he said. Okay, that did not work. Let's try that again. Little Tunechi, here we go.
What's your thought on Black Lives Matter?
What is it? What do you mean?
The idea is that there's this movement called Black Lives Matter, thinking that the rest of America didn't seem to understand that Black Lives Matter.
It just sounds weird. I don't know that you put a name on. It's not a name. It's not whatever. It's somebody got shot by police and for a reason. I am a young, black, rich. If that don't let you know that America understands Black matter these days, I don't know what it is. That man white, he filming me. I don't know what you mean, man. Don't come at me with that dumb man. My life matter, especially to my.
Do you feel, though, connected to?
I feel connected to a damn thing that ain't got nothing to do with me. If you do, you crazy as you, not the camera, you. Feeling connected to something that ain't got nothing to do with you. If it ain't got nothing to do with me, I ain't connected to it.
All right. So, Lil Wayne, I have 1,000,001 reasons not to ever talk about Lil Wayne. But the fact is, he's treaded into dangerous waters that he's not prepared. Number one, Lil Wayne should not be able to show his face in the lower Ninth Ward ever again. Right? He always claims to be connected to his roots. You cannot be connected in New Orleans and simultaneously say you're not connected to what Black Lives Matter stands for. I'm not talking about the organization. I'll let you guys argue about the organization and George Soros and all those kind of things, but never mind the organization, but with the movement, actually the rallying cry, this moment where we are fighting back against police brutality, killing of unarmed black men and women. And we'll talk about Walter Scott in a minute. So how can, he benefits from, or he came from, I can't even say he benefits from right now, because his money primarily comes from white suburbia, people who like to engage in voyeurism. They want to see the hood, but not actually have to experience the hood. They want to see black pain, and they want to dance to black pain without ever having to leave the comfort of their home. That's where he's making his money. So for him to get on national television with the type of influence that he has, because a lot of people say, why do we care about what these people say? Because there are millions of people who care about what these people have to say. And there's millions of minds, unfortunately, who listen to him and take his words and embrace his words and make it their own thoughts. And that's why we can't sit by and let somebody like this just say it unchallenged. And challenged he was, because Black Twitter don't play the fan, right? He's already come out and apologized, according to TMZ. He came out and apologized and said that he was upset because the reporter asked him questions about his daughter and he lost it and really didn't pay attention to anything. I don't know. I do know. It doesn't sound like he lost his train of thought. It sounded like it's consistent with what he said previously and consistent with what we hear from a lot of black athletes and a lot of wealthy people. Once they get a little piece of money, they leave the hood and they make money off the hood, but they don't feel any connection to the hood anymore. What do you guys think about that?
Go ahead, David.
I'll be brief, but three things. First of all, with that little tidbit of news about him being upset about his daughter. I mean, if that happened beforehand, I could sort of see why he was saying there's something wrong with her and talking down to her the way he did. But aside from that, his people need to make sure that he's not interviewing when he's high, because there is no doubt in my mind that man was not sober. I mean, he's never sober.
Stay off the scissors.
But aside from that, you should, and that's no excuse. He said what he said, and you can't just say it's the drugs talking, but you shouldn't be doing interviews like it's a setup. It's a setup for failure in general.
Hey, but you know what they say though, David? The truth comes out when you're drunk,
I was
and the
going to
truth
say,
comes
I
out
know
when
that
you're high.
that's why I said it's no excuse.
Yeah,
But, I mean, damn.
yeah, yeah.
Just like the one thing he was right on to some degree, and it's sad, but he was right, is his money makes him important. He does matter. Not in the not in the context that he was trying to make it seem, but because he has money, because he has celebrity, that's why he gets the attention that he does. And it goes to your point about the fact that someone with his impact, he needs to be careful, or anybody in that role needs to be careful.
Well,
He does
David,
matter for the simple fact that people will listen to what he says.
David, I have to give you an applause there, David. I mean, not that you don't say good things all the time, but actually, you just actually nicely wrap that around to a class critique, right? We love class critiques around here, and Lil Wayne is a victim of his money, because at this point he believes that he's somebody because he has money, right? He believes that he's important because he got cash and he got white people working for him, and perhaps in America that's all you need. Maybe that's the transcendent factor in America, because of course Oprah Winfrey's life matters, but there's so many more of us, right? We're talking about less than 0.5% of African Americans who even attain enough wealth to even be considered important in that fashion. And so, of course, for Lil Wayne, he's important because he has money to make people think he's important, while the rest of us and the people he made money, where he came from, the Ninth Ward, the rest of us, he's just not even connected to. Go ahead, Anoa.
Well, this is also the problem with worrying about celebrity endorsements and what celebrities think, as if somehow somebody being famous means that their opinion is more valuable, going along with what David was just saying. Like, I mean, we've seen it happening in this election cycle. Ooh, Jennifer Lopez is saying, or Alfie Woodard is saying, or whatever. I mean, even though they're giving, better statements than Lil Wayne about like the issue of Black Lives Matter, but at the same time, while celebrities who are actually knowledgeable and engaged on the issue can lend awesome voice and power to issues, like we've seen with Jesse Williams, Harry Belafonte, there are activists who are celebrities, right? But just asking random celebrities what they think and feel and having them speak on stuff, it actually does a disservice to issues and movements and actual intellectual development in this country. And this is a big reason why I'm really not in favor of worrying about celebrities and endorsements and things like that, because I really do feel like it taints and erodes the conversation, because they do have such a huge platform. So if you do have someone saying that this is not a big issue, or vote for this person, or follow this thing, or whatever, I mean, you'll have a whole host of issues and commentary that's not even being addressed, because we're worrying about what some, TV star or some dried up rapper that hasn't released an actual album and I don't know how long says.
Yeah.
I mean, he's no Killer Mike. So,
I mean, go ahead, Brandon. I want you to jump in here.
Well, I mean, I think that the biggest problem with stuff like this, because Lil Wayne, I don't get my political acumen from Lil Wayne. I don't get my opinion from Lil Wayne. I get my dance music from Lil Wayne. I get my dance music from Lil Wayne circa 2004 when he was still part of Cash Money Millionaires. But the problem becomes that when you make statements like this as a popular Black person, it allows white people to speak their own racism through your voice.
Yes.
It allows the racist white to come out of to express their opinions through your voice, and then cloak their own racism in the voice of a minority and say, well, no, that's what Lil Wayne thinks. It's like, well, why are you repeating it? Why are you think you're in? But his statement about the fact that white people are the main purchasers of his music reminds me of a lyric from another rap song by the Flatbush Zombies, one of my favorite rap groups out there right now. They also do a lot of drugs, so it's not just a drug thing. Where one of the rappers says, I was a fan of Black music before I was a fan of Black people. And that's just it. We have a country where people have confused, I feel like a better voyeurism and consumerism with empathy, where they feel as though they know the plight of Black people because they heard a song or they've heard it in interview with LeBron James, or that they feel like they know Black people. We still live in a very segregated country. We still live in a country where 1 in 3 and 4 people or white people do not have a Black friend. And so
Wow.
a lot of, for a lot of people, this is their exposure to Black people. This is their
Yeah.
exposure to Black
Let me-
culture. And that's unfortunate.
That's the truth. We really don't care what these people have to say. So I would just say to the reporter, who I think the journalist, she did a good job, right? It was she dealing with a moron like Lil Wayne. I'm not knocking her, but ultimately, Nightline, why would you even ask Lil Wayne this question? And I guess some people actually care. Go ahead.
It's like David said earlier, like we have attached money and success so strongly to intelligence and moral worth that people feel, and people who have money and success have embodied that. They've started to drink the Kool-Aid that all you gotta do is give someone $1 billion and a Twitter, and they will feel qualified to comment on pretty much any issue.
Yep.
And no matter how ignorant it makes them sound. And another rapper said a great thing too, Earl Sweatshirt. He said all Twitter has ever done, and I expand that to social media in general, has done is show you how stupid your favorite celebrity is. That's all it has done. All Twitter has really done is show you just how dumb and ignorant the people you used to look up to are.
Because I remember I was teaching 6th grade world history. One year I taught it in like suburbia, white suburbia, and then the next year I taught it dead smack in the hood, white suburbia. We had all the resources we needed in the hood. Our kids didn't even have clean clothes. They couldn't even wash their clothes, right? And this is in the same school district. But I remember teaching in the Black community and talking about taxes and talking about helping your brother and how what happens when you get over a certain threshold of wealth. I asked the class, I said, when you get your money, are you going to turn around and help somebody else out? Or do you feel like it's your responsibility to help somebody else out? And when I tell you, I would say it was half and half. Half the class said absolutely. The other half said hell no, they would not. And it just shows you like it's just kind of ingrained, right? I think it's a part of fighting to get out of poverty. And this is why the Black community and poor communities in general, right? Just poverty in general is very lucrative because you always have people so hungry to get out of poverty that they're willing to do anything, and that usually makes them vulnerable to charlatans who are ready to take everything from them, from their talent, from their physicality, from their knowledge. Everything that they have is commodified and then packaged up and sold to people who have money. And that's exactly what hip hop is. You have a bunch of hungry, young Black people, generally Black people, who will do anything to get out of the poverty of the hood, turn around, they have a talent, they sell that talent, and that talent is not, you can't make the money in the hood. In the hood, they're Napster really helped. I'm going way back. Napster really helped the hood because we pirated everything in the hood, right? Bootlegs started in the hood, right? They make their money in white suburbia, and they do so by selling and commodifying Black poverty, Black struggle. And this is all Lil Wayne is. This is all he is. He's just another cog in that machine of talented Black people, or at least talented enough.
Debatable.
Yeah, exactly. And then selling that message of Black poverty and Black pain to white kids in suburbia who get to dance to it without the dangers of actually going to the hood. Go ahead, Brandon, or Noah, one of you guys.
Well, I was going to say on the flip side, a similar purveyor of the Black troop, the Black poverty pain,
politicians.
You better, ain't nothing wrong troop, is President Barry.
Yep.
You can go get you a taco so you can go vote. And the Black vote ain't as tight as I need it to be. So y'all got to make it happen. Yep. Get information. Like, I'm so sick and tired of my president trying to use and abuse. And I'm sick and tired of. There's a lot of people out there who are doing the same thing, using and abusing. Sorry to segue here, but like, I just want to get this in. There are people who keep invoking the names of ancestors. When you got neoliberals talking about Fannie Lou Hamer and what she went through, huh? Fannie Lou Hamer ain't go through what she went through so that we could elect Hillary Clinton. You was a lie. You is a lie.
Satan, you is a liar, and the truth is not in you. Stop that. Stop that foolishness.
It's not. Ida B. Wells wasn't fighting and grinding and writing and doing everything she was doing as a suffragist, as an anti-lynch, activist. Like, that was not happening for us to elect Hillary Clinton. You a lie.
It's funny. Go ahead.
It's just the manipulation, but I see the same thing. We have people like Lil Wayne who do manipulate, a certain conversation and a certain imagery because it's profitable and that's how they're
Hell
making
yeah.
a living. We see the same thing with our Black president and many Black politicians as well. They're
Yep.
packaging and allowing a certain perspective to exist because that's how they make their bread and butter and that's how they exercise their influence. And here we are in an election cycle where we're being told that you have to vote this way because you have to prevent racism and white supremacy, whereas all these people are active participants in maintaining a system that enables white supremacy to not only exist, but to flourish, and to flourish in a way where it's very insidious and at times seemingly non-existent. I mean, we spent 8 years people telling us that America was post-racial.
Yeah. Speaking of, actually, let me play this. I'm going to take this caller. I want to play this last clip of Lil Wayne. This is him being utterly confused, I guess, is the best way to describe it. He's really going to say whatever is most convenient for him to say for what, this is what you do. When something's popular, you talk about it. This is Lil Wayne. Here we go.
We are Black America. Black Lives Matter.
So by the way, I guess you could take Lil Wayne with a grain of salt. Actually, not you could. You should take Lil Wayne with a grain of salt because it's gonna vacillate back and forth between soberness and being hocked up on scissor and that lean.